What is up, my viewers? Spang here, and it is time for a World of Tanks gameplay commentary. This one is one of my matches, and I am platooned up with Zatyi, part of the Mag clan. Honestly, I can't recall why I was particularly platooned up with him. I think it was a friend of a friend, and I was Cartman brah, and I just happened to I cannot recall under the circumstances that we were platooned up. Anyway, regardless of that situation, it is I brain derped right there for a moment. Please forgive me. It is standard battle on Prokhorovka, and I'm driving my M48 Patton. Yes, this was the match I was talking about, like the past video or two, that I wasn't sure I was going to upload, but I looked at the stats of it and it looks impressive, so we'll see if it actually is worth my time. Now, this is exactly what I was hoping for. The M48 Patton, known exactly for its great spotting range, and I was hoping to catch vehicles as they were cresting that rail and get off a free shot. That's one thing I commonly do in my medium tanks, especially my 48 Patton, is try to get off an early free shot, spot some heavy tanks where they would be moving on their way up, and hopefully just get some free damage. You know, any little bit of damage helps where you can get it. And I've got a considerable amount of teammates over here just rolling on these hills with me. Got the Bat Chat going up to the hill, it looks like, but I got myself the 46 Patton, the Leopard, and the Object 140 here to take cross shots on those heavy tanks once they get spotted. Zatyi is over on the hill getting good overarching shots, trying to help me out a little bit here, and I can only assume we're in team speak, coordinating and trying to, you know, get as much shots focused in on the same target as commonly as possible. Got a good number of vehicles on the 1-2 line. There aren't too many tank destroyers for our team. There is that T110E3, which is on the 1-2 line, though he's hanging back a bit further than I would like. There's no artillery, so honestly, he should probably be trying to abuse his armor a little bit more. In fact, he should probably be ahead of those E100s and that T110E5 instead of behind them, the SU-122-54. Kind of playing smart, playing right. And my biggest concern right now is this 50B, who I know is not looking at me, and I'm going to punish him for that. But at the same time, trying to get some shots on the hill, which I did not have any angles on because I'm too close to the rails. So the enemy team definitely getting spotted up there. Zatyi still at full health in his Bat Chat, being a little ballsy for a no armored Bat Chat. And this AMX 50B getting a little bit, you know, pummeled here and there by the medium tanks. So right now, just trying my very best. Ooh, Waffenträger E100, 2 shots. Not very happy with that right now, and I'm trying to be a little dip and dodgy about trying not to take a third, and fortunately for me, I don't. So the Waffenträger E100 is exposed way back there on the rails, sitting right on that little crossroads. Now, the trick is to light him up so my team can just absolutely lay into him. Fortunate for him, however, is his team is spotting for him, and that way he can fire without consequence, as we just saw. Waffenträger E100 taking out our 140, and I am well aware of his presence and the danger he poses at this point in time. I ping the map and say waffle, but I say it to everyone. And then I say not nice to play it off all cool and act like I wasn't accidentally typing in the wrong chat. Do something on the hill, guys. The E100 calling for action, but if they push on hill, granted the waffle is probably reloading at this point in time, but they are not in a good position to push. Unfortunate for me, RNG does not favor, and that is exactly what I was talking about right there. There is a significant number of enemy vehicles on that hill, so them pushing is actually quite a bad call. And as for me, I get a bunch of free side shots. So the IS-7 finally destroying the 50B, who had been a thorn in our side for far too long. And I'm just going to do my absolute best. Now, right here, I am firing without consequence because my team is lighting them up, and my 48 Patton actually has some pretty good camo on it. It doesn't have the best camo rating of the medium tanks by far, but the enemy tanks, I mean, look at how far away they are. They're beyond the spotting range of most of those vehicles with 100% spotting. So the chances of them lighting me pretty much non-existent. And even if they were within lighting distance, I would still probably have a good enough camo to not get spotted. And so I'm just getting a bunch of free shots, over 2,300 dealt so far, And I'm going to take another shot at this E100, hopefully get some, and I will. Another low roll, but you know what? Just got to roll with those punches. The IS-4 getting wise to my strategy and pointing in my direction, but I know he doesn't see me. And I am just going to abuse the fact that he doesn't have the best armor. It's respectable, but not all too great. I'm going to take another shot, unfortunately ricocheting due to the angle it impacted. And the IS-4 deciding he's just going to push on up. I'm like, thank you for side shots, but no thank you to RNG for that miss when I was hoping, you know, it was pretty likely I was going to hit. Now, he is a bit smart here, and that is using the dead husk of his M103 ally. No, wait, I am wrong. That is an M48. A lot of the American tanks look similar from a distance because they all have that hatch. They all have kind of similarly shaped turrets, but if you pay attention, which I clearly was not, you can easily distinguish this E100 pulled down, but when he turns his turret sideways like that, makes it nice and flat, well, that's just easy damage for me. Over 3,500 damage dealt, getting pretty close to high caliber, and by that I mean I'm about halfway there. 6,010 is the magic number for this match, and that is simply due to all the heavy vehicles, the heavy tanks on the enemy team, and that large hit point pool. So Zai managing to take out that IS-4. There's still a significant number of forces on the hill, and our team not exactly in the best of positions, but we are winning this match in both tank count and almost by hit points. So just barely, you know, even there. The enemy team, that 103, there we go, putting us back over the top just slightly, and now we do actually have the hit point lead. Thing to be careful about are those German TDs on the 1-2 line. Our team has to be cautious not to get taken out by those, but I still have side shots for days, and this enemy team not going to spot me anytime soon as I just plow into them. Another shot for free. 6,000 is getting ever closer is what I should say. Over 4,600 damage dealt, just under actually 4,700 damage, and that E100 will finally succumb to all the shots fired his way. You have a lot of armor, a lot of hit points, my friend, but it is not enough. T-30 open and exposed. I'm going to take a shot, and right as he backs up, my round still finds its way to his vehicle. And got to be careful of that waffle, but at this point, I know there's really nothing around to spot me. Our team's still barely hanging on here. It is very recoverable for this enemy team, especially considering they have such high damage and high output guns as the Waffle, the FV-183, and that Yogzilla. So got to be cautious when fighting these TDs, but at the same time, I want to see if I can take out this T-110E5. He is unfortunately below the hill, and I am unable to do so. And I'm getting a little bit ballsy here, but I know the Waffle can't spot me, especially in my current location. The only person in danger of spotting me if he was closer would be that 46 Patton, but everyone else is just far too far away. Yogzilla going to take another hit from me, and now I am just one shot away from high caliber. Will I get it? Well, the answer is yes, because I'm going to be aiming for this Yogzilla again, and there it goes. And it is, lucky for me, a kill shot, 1 kill, and a lot of damage dealt. In fact, I've already earned Confederate without, even if I was to kill every other tank I came across, I have still gotten a Confederate. There are 5 enemy tanks left on this map, most of which are TDs, and 2 of which are tier 9s that are really no threat at all. The M103, who just is barely alive somewhere. No, wait, that's not a 103, that's a T30. My mistake. No, wait, what am I, stupid? Yeah, I was right the first time. Wherever that 103 is hiding, which is down by the river with his 46 ally. And for those who missed it, Zai actually did make his way over to that line. Such is the mobility of the Bat Chat, where I'm being super snipey here. Only 2 shots left of APCR, and then it's nothing but heat. And I prefer not to bring the heat if I don't have to. That's a lot of cost. And just under 7,000 damage dealt this match for me so far. I want to get this kill on the Waffle. I want to pay him back a little bit, although I have already put 1 shot into him. I've taken over 1,100 damage from him, so I would like a little bit more revenge, but it looks like Zai is going to be the one who gets some. And nope, I am wrong. Our T-30 actually getting the kill, and then the Centurion 7-1 shortly after killing that M46 Patton. So, sniping from the middle and just providing tons and tons of fire support, tons of camouflage, unseen fire support. It's always the guns you don't see that are the ones that kill you. And man, that enemy team certainly got wrecked by that by my unseen gun. But let's go to those post-game stats and see how everyone else stacked up. So, as a quick disclaimer for those who do not know, a lot of the times experience is earned mostly from kills, where credits are earned mostly from damage, and that's just kind of how World of Tanks works. Now that's the case most of the time, and since I only got 1 kill, that is pretty much the reason why I only earned Mastery Badge First Class. I mean, you just look at the scope of things I was shooting at. The 50B, the 48 Patton, the IS-4, E100, Yogzilla, Waffenträger, T110E5, just all that damage put out, getting myself Confederate and high caliber, which I called out during the match. Still, nothing but first class. And that's all I am, a first class player. Zing, that was a terrible pun, and I am sorry. But looking at how the enemy team racked up, that Waffenträger on the rails, just having his team spot for him, allowing him to put out massive amounts of damage, still about 2,000 short of me, not quite 2,000, but close enough. And the closest competitor to him on his team was that Yogzilla, just under 2,500. Or rather, just over 2,400 is a more accurate assessment. However, Zatyi, putting out a decent amount, over 2,000, that's respectable. That is certainly more than his tank's hit points and damage, and therefore carrying his own weight. In fact, I'd say on average as a tier 10, you want to be putting out anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 hit points of damage to just make sure you're pulling your weight regardless of tier 10 vehicle. But overall, the closest competitor to me on our team, that T30, just a little between 3,100 and 3,200 damage there. You can see the exact number. And our team in general doing okay. Our 46 Patton, I don't recall what he was doing. I think he was doing a lot of spotting in mid. I know he was with me up on the line at first, and I think he was just popping over and trying to spot the enemy team, but man, no shots for damage. He fired 6 and got 2 hits, 1 penetration, but nothing actually damaging. But a lot of spotting. So yes, he was doing a lot of lighting using the 46 Patton's good view range, just like the 48 Patton has. And me, well, we'll see exactly what my exact stats are here in a minute. But the enemy team definitely having a few 0 damage performers. Our KV5, that's to be expected. And honestly, he should not have been platooned up with a Leopard prototype A. That's a bad call for a KV5, and he learned that the hard way. Hopefully they don't do that anymore. That was just, you never want to drag a KV5 up into a tier 10 match, ever. That's asking for trouble. The enemy team, ST1, or STI as I usually call it, not doing too hot for himself. The E50 and the 183. Wow, the 183 got wrecked. 5 shots fired, but RNG just very unkind to him for whatever reason. Not sure if that was his fault for having an untrained crew or what. But overall, very well played, and especially so by me managing to get out all that damage. But that's really just because I was able to remain unseen and fire on the enemy team without penalty, much like that enemy Waffle, so we both kind of had the same advantage going. Overall, managed to make over 100,000 credits. Not so impressive with the experience, but still with the action/personal missions payout, very respectable, and quite a pleasant surprise upon the rewards when I got my post-game payout. But very happy with that match, and again, you got to be wary of those unseen guns and staying unseen when absolutely possible. If you can be in a spot firing on the enemy team with no consequence, that is devastating as demonstrated here. But that's not always available to you as an option, so when you get it, abuse the hell out of it. Hopefully that's some applicable advice. I hope you guys find yourselves in that situation sometime. But anyway, that pretty much does it for this video. So if you liked it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you got a replay, well, there's instructions for that in the description below. But until next time, well, I almost forgot. If you got a suggestion on how I can make my videos or channel better, please let me know as well. And now I will say, until next time, my name is Spang, and well, I'm just oh so professional.
MLG Dynamo.